Welcome back to Love Daniella, episode 17. Today we are talking about our goals. I feel like this year snuck up on me and I really want to set intentions for 2025. I feel like 2024 was such a year of growth for me. I feel like I experienced so much. I accomplished a lot of goals that were on my list last year, but I feel like I really honed in on living my dream life. And I just feel like creating that momentum for 2025 and having like fresh new goals and things to aspire to be, that is like my biggest thing. I think there's so much growth that can happen in every single year. And no one ever hits their like perfect thing. I think that you should constantly be working towards something, whether it's a physical goal or an internal goal. I feel like you should always be working towards something. So we're going to discuss what you can do to have your dream life in 2025 and my personal goals. Setting intention and getting out of your comfort zone is what's going to create your dream life in 2025, because nothing that is comfortable will create growth. You are constantly going to be uncomfortable if you're growing. It's growing pains, and that is normal. So taking a step out of your comfort zone and doing things that maybe don't feel easy, that is what's necessary. So I made a list of things that I want to do before the year ends and things that I think that will be really beneficial for the both of us. So number one is a vision board. I want to make a physical vision board where I get magazines. I just think this is fun and it reminds me of my childhood, like getting magazine clippings. So I kind of want to get like a few magazines and cut things out of them. So a physical vision board where you can write your goals down, but also have a visual representation. And then a virtual one that you can set as your screensaver, one that you can look back on your phone. It's just super easy to look back on, but it has little screenshots and things written out. I did that last year and I loved it. It was my screensaver for my phone and my computer for months. So I kind of want to do that again. So I think having that visual is really, it makes something fun. I feel like before I go back for the holidays to Dallas, I may do that with Chris when he comes in town, like go get some magazines and just like sit here and really plan out the year. The second thing that I actually have been implementing the last few months, but I want to bring into 2025 is I created boards or folders on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and they're all labeled Dream Life. You know how all of your saves you can make into folders? So I have one that's called Dream Life, and anytime I see like a house that I'm like, oh, I want to be in this $5 million home, but obviously right now that is not my reality. That is not how my bank account is set up. But things that I aspire to be, I have it in this folder, and I think it's really good because it's like you're putting out those intentions, those manifestations. So I save them into a board. If it's a cute baby that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to be a mom, and like this is like something that I'm so excited for in my future, I save it to this board because it's not like a save like I'm gonna look back on it and I need to remember to do this. It's a save that when I want to set my intentions or look what I want my dream life to be, I see that. I always save like farm animals because I want to farm. I think it's just like a really good thing of looking at things on social media and having that inspiration for your future. So everyone create a dream life board or folder on all of your socials so that you can be more intentional on social media. Next is actually writing down your goals. I like putting them on physical, like a piece of paper. I just like the feeling of writing down my goals, but you could also type it out. But I want to have a full breakdown list of everything that I want to accomplish. I kind of put more generalized goals so you can pull inspo from my goals, but I want to go down to the numbers, like how much I want to be making every month and like exact goals for myself. So I will be doing that separately, but I really want to have very direct goals. So when I look back at the end of 2025, I can see what I've completed. So they're not as generalized as like work out every day. It's more of things that I want to see, you know? So that is the next thing. Then we have put in your calendar what you want to complete each month. I feel like a lot of the time the year slips away from us. We never do the things we said we were going to do. We don't complete a lot of things, because life happens and you let your goals or you let the things that you say slip through your fingers. So putting it down on a calendar, I like Google Calendar because everything's color coded. So you can make this goal a color, and at the first of the month or the end of the month, you say, this is what I want to complete this month. So if you have certain time periods where you have a little less going on and those are the times that you want to travel, but you're not going to make your travel plans this far in advance, put at the first of the month, like, this is the month that I'm traveling to Italy or wherever you want to go. So I think doing that, if you want to start a new hobby, it's like, okay, this is the month that I actually start. Like, I have to go rock climbing. I said I was going to do it, and in February, that is when I'm going to my first rock climbing thing. Having it there so you remember and you don't let, oh, I'll just do it next month. Oh, this month was kind of busy, I'll just push it. I feel like a lot of the time we push things off, but having a new goal at the start of every month so that you actually complete everything is so smart. I don't know why I have never done that, but I think that is what I want to do this year, because I want to complete something big every month, whether it's having a new hobby, traveling somewhere new, cooking, whatever it is. I want to be very intentional with it. Next is to declutter your space. Declutter your space before 2025. Do not take any junk into 2025. Go through your closet, go through all your kitchen stuff, go through the things that are under your sink. Go through everything and really declutter. If you haven't used it all year long and you have been holding on because maybe you'll use it, get rid of it. There's no point in keeping it. I feel like I always do that. Well, what if I need that one day? And then years pass and I'm like, why do I have this in my possession? There was no need for this. It usually happens when I move out of a space where I'm like, I didn't touch this all year. And then I bring it to the next space. So I really want to go through all of the things and don't bring them into 2025. That is a goal of mine. Next is don't bring negative energy into 2025. Cut the negative friends and the people that are holding you back. Surrounding yourself with people that want you to win, that you feel like you grow as an individual around. I feel like this year I really spent a lot of time around people that I admire. Hanging out with people that you don't see any attributes in them that you're like, wow, that's so amazing. Why are you around them? Because you become the people you're around. So I have been surrounding myself around people that make me want to grow, make me want to be a better person. And I feel like that's why this year was so great for me, because I wasn't around people that were so negative that made me self-deprecate. I feel like I finally was around so many people this year that made me feel good about myself, and I completed so many goals of mine because I was so inspired by the people around me. So cut the dead weight and don't bring it into 2025. Even if you don't want to like have a friend breakup, just create some space and try to find people that want to see you win in this life. You only have one life. Why are you going to surround yourself around people that don't want to see you succeed in this life? There's no point in that. Literally no point. Cut the dead weight. Those are all the things that I think we should work towards into 2025. So until now, when this podcast releases, until January 1st, those are the things that I want us all to work on. And then now let's go through my personal goals and just like some inspo that maybe you can take. So number one is to work out 5 times a week. I feel like I give myself a little bit too much grace, and I'll be like, like I'm listening to my body. I don't need to work out. I want to work out. I feel good when I work out. And so if I don't let myself off the hook that easy, I feel like that'll be good, even if it's just going downstairs and walking on the treadmill for 30 minutes. But I want to be working out at least 5 times a week. Obviously, moving your body every single day would be great, even if it's like low impact. But I really want to start weight training again. I really did not weight train at all in 2024. I did work out a lot. I did a lot of classes, Pilates classes, all of that. And I want to implement that, like going to classes like 3 times a week, because I love Pilates. I love yoga. I love like classes. Those are so fun. So I want to do those like 2 to 3 times a week, and then in between do weight training or like walking incline or the Stairmaster or something. Or even just if I can't make it to a Pilates class, put a yoga mat here and put it on my TV and do a little 30-minute Pilates workout on YouTube. You don't have to go into classes every time you want to do yoga or Pilates. So that is my biggest thing this year, is working out 5 times a week. and stop making excuses. Number 2 is daily movement. So kind of along the same things. Even on days that I'm not working out, I want to be moving my body in some way, whether that's deep stretching, going on a walk around my neighborhood, going downstairs and walking on the treadmill. I want to be moving my body every single day. I don't want to get I feel like as you get older, you start hardening almost because you're not moving as much as you should or as much as you did when you were a kid. So I want to have daily movement in my routine because sometimes if the weather's not good, I'm like, well, I don't need to go for a walk. But I think walking and clearing your mind is so important. So that is a major goal of mine. Next is I want to travel to 3 new places. I go to the same places. I go to LA a lot and I go to Dallas a lot and I'm in Austin. But I want to go to 3 fresh new places in 2025. I just want to explore more. Like that's like at least. Obviously, I would love to travel a bunch, but I at least want to try 3 new places this year. It could even be a road trip. Like I just want to explore new places, new cities, and go with people that I love. That is a main goal of mine because I did travel a few times this year, but it wasn't intentional. It's kind of last minute things. I want to like actually go to places that I've always had on my list. Like Charleston's on my list. I've never been to Charleston. And what's my excuse? Like I can go to Charleston. I really want to go to new places. So that is what we're doing in 2025. Next is to water my friendships. I really want to have close relationships with my friends and not letting the time slip through my fingertips. I want to be hanging out with my friends more, setting more intentions. I feel like when you get to adulthood, there's so much on your mind that sometimes you go weeks without reaching out to friends. I really want to reach out to friends that are long distance friends and set up FaceTime dates and really water the friendships that I want to be in my life forever and not letting life pass me by. I feel like friendship is so important. So that is a main goal of mine. Next is more hobbies, less screen time. We all spend too much time on social media, on screens. So this year, I really want to do more things that don't have anything to do with screens, coloring, cooking, baking. Anything that has less to do with screens is one of my main goals. Next is meditation daily. I used to meditate so much, and the way that I feel like I was so mentally good, I really want to put meditation in my daily routine. I don't know, I need to figure out where that works in my routine, if it's when I wake up or before bed, something, but I really want to put meditation in my daily routine. It is really hard. I don't feel like enough people talk about how hard meditation is. It is hard to clear your mind of everything. Your mind is constantly wandering on what to do next, what you have to complete in the day. There's always so many things flooding your mind. So meditation is a very hard practice. And I really want to hone in on that this year. I may get a little meditation app or something to kind of help me through. I really like guided meditation more than I like just trying meditation on my own. Trying meditation on my own is almost impossible for me. So guided meditation, I think, will be very important. Next is to put my house to bed. I want to take the time, whether it's 15 minutes at the end of the night, to fluff up my couch, make sure there's no dishes in the sink. I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Then I wake up and I feel so cluttered in my mind. So I really want to take the time to put my house to bed, put everything away, and taking that extra 15 minutes before you wash your face to get ready for bed will set yourself up, because if you keep putting it off, then you have this major clutter and you have to spend so much time at the end of the week fully deep cleaning because you just let things stack and stack and stack. So the end of the night, go take out the trash. I feel like because I get a lot of PR, I feel like I let boxes sit right next to my door and I just let them stack up. But at the end of the night, I want to walk down my hall and go throw all those things away and just make sure my space is constantly clean. Then we have journaling daily. Sometimes I get into a journaling phase, sometimes I don't. But I think journaling or therapy, really important. I feel like journaling will be very good this year. I really want to start diving into my emotions and every day checking in with myself, how I feel and why I feel it, and writing it down. I also want to stop venting to people. I always feel this like awful feeling when I vent to someone. And I know opening up to people is good, but I don't want to be venting all the time. I need to be writing it down in a journal and just letting it go on a piece of paper. I feel like a lot of the time you just want to get it off your chest, but I have certain friends and people in my life that they vent to people or they say something to someone and they're like, why did I say that? Now they know this information and I didn't want them knowing it. I was just talking. And that's like an awful feeling when you're venting and then you feel like icky after, like, why did I do that? So journaling, I feel like, will really help because I don't want to put negative energy out there. If I'm upset with someone or I feel annoyed, I want to put it on a piece of paper and lock it up. No one's allowed to read my journal. Okay, then we have stretching. I used to be flexible. I used to dance when I was younger. I used to have my splits. Now I am like an old woman that can't even touch my toes. No, I can touch my toes because I do Pilates. But I think certain Pilates moves and certain things in yoga would be a lot better if I was stretching every single day. So one of my goals is to create a morning routine. I want to implement 10 minutes of stretching. I want to do meditation. I need to write a list and then every morning check off everything that I did. I think it'll help. But stretching is a major thing. You can even stretch if you don't have time in the morning. After you eat dinner and you're watching TV, sit in front of the TV and while you're watching it, stretch for 15 minutes. It will help so much so you do not start creating like issues. I feel like so many people have like hip issues and knee issues and back issues when they get older, and it's because we're not stretching enough. So I really, really, really want to stretch and I want to get my splits again. I just think it's a cool thing to be like, yeah, I can do the splits. Next is prioritizing socializing. I am a hermit. I will stay in my house and I don't do things as much as I should. I say no because it sounds better to just sit in bed, especially if the sun is down. I do not say yes to things. And the sun goes down right now at 5 p.m. So if someone texts me, want to go to dinner, and it's 7 p.m. and the sun's already down, my socializing is over. So I really want to prioritize socializing, prioritize meeting new people, going to new things, going to events, and putting myself out there. I feel like I did pretty good with meeting new people this year and making new friendships, but I want to constantly be doing that. I feel like a lot of the time we get complacent and we're like, oh, well, we have friends. We don't need to make other connections. But I constantly want to be meeting new people, making new connections, making new friends. You should constantly be putting yourself out there. So that is a main intention, is to make new friends and follow through. Sometimes I'll make new friends on social media in the area and then I never follow through with plans. So like we're social media mutuals, but I really want to prioritize making new friends because I think the main thing is I am a loner and I like being alone. So then when I'm socializing, I want to water the friendships I already have. But if I'm constantly watering the friendships I already have, then I also need to be making new friends and prioritizing that too. Then we have hair oiling. I was doing that for a while and I just did it the other night, but I want to do that weekly. I feel like my hair felt so good when I was doing that consistently, and the buildup and everything, it was just so good. So I really want to take the time. I need to create a day that I stick to it, whether it's like a Monday night, and that's when I do all of like the self-care things, make sure my nails are in check, make sure my toenails are painted, do my hair oiling. I need to set a day because if I don't, then I wait till last minute or it's already 10 p.m. and I need to wash my hair, and then I'm like, well, I can't do hair oiling because hair oiling is supposed to sit in your hair for a few hours. So that is a main priority because I want my hair to look healthy and luscious and I want it to grow too. So hair oiling. Next is cooking. I want to be cooking more. I want to be cooking healthy meals. I want to be trying new meals. I tried a few things this year that stuck with it, but I feel like I'm such a creature of habit that once I find a meal that I like, I fixate on it for months and then I get sick of it and then I cook something else. But I want to have different things in my rotation, and I also want to be eating for the seasons. I feel like a lot of the time we all just say, okay, we like this type of salad or we like this vegetable, this is our favorite. And then we constantly eat that or fruit or whatever. And then it's not in season. So it's not as good. It's not as healthy. So I really want to be eating for the seasons. This last time I grocery shopped, I looked up what fruits were in season and I bought grapes because grapes are in season right now. I really want to be shopping towards that. I really think it's healthier. The food lasts longer. It tastes better. So that is a main thing. Then is saving money. I don't spend a lot of money, I feel like, but I really want to be intentional with what I'm saving and putting it into a savings account. I want to have money saved up because I don't ever do that. I feel like when I was younger, I would do that. Like I would put things to the side and be like, I'm saving up for this, but I just want to be saving up for my future. I eventually want a house. I want a nice car. I want things that cost money in the future, and I want to put it to the side so it feels like, oh, that's money that's not touched. And then once it gets to a certain level, then it's like, oh, perfect. I can buy a house. I can afford this. So I really want to prioritize saving this year. Then we have rest. Rest is so important. We did a whole episode on it last week, but I really want to prioritize that in 2025. Have a rest day every week or a rest afternoon. I really want to prioritize rest and turning my brain off. I think it's so crucial to implement rest in there, and I feel like then it recharges you for the rest of the week. And lastly, I want to wake up early. I have been saying that forever, and I feel like when I have a lot going on, I just push that to the side and I wake up at 10 a.m. and I really don't like that. I want to be a morning person. I want to wake up at 7 a.m. I think I may get a Hatch alarm clock. I may invest in that. They're kind of expensive, but I feel like they're so good. They gradually wake you up with like a sunrise. You can wake up to like birds chirping, and I want it to be more peaceful waking up. I snooze my alarm so much, and I really, really, really want to be a morning person in 2025. So I'm going to be trying before we get to 2025, but I feel like 2025, I want to master waking up early. And that is everything. I obviously will have a lot more goals. I'm going to be setting more intentions. I manifest monthly. I feel like every time there's a full moon or something is happening with the universe, that's usually when I sit down and I'll write down some manifestations, but constantly be setting intentions throughout 2025. Don't just do it at the beginning of the year and never think about it again. Constantly be setting goals for yourself to complete. I obviously will have more episodes before 2025, but I hope 2025 is your best year yet. I see it for you. I see it for us. And yeah, I just feel like this year is our year. So everything is linked down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Tuesday.